Hey everyone, welcome back with a new lecture with ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition, and now is structural requirements. First point, the lab shall be a legal entity or a defined part of a legal entity that's legally responsible for its lab activities. And that means if the lab under government authority or organization or any other company, in this case, the lab will be considered as a defined part of this entity, and they will be legally responsible for its activities. And the customer in this case for the lab will be this entity. And if there is any problem with the customer related to the lab activities or lab results, or there is any contract with the customers, they will be legally responsible for its activities. And if the lab is private, so they are not under any authority, in this case the lab shall be a legal entity, and the management of the lab will be legally responsible for its activities. Management that has overall responsibility for the lab shall be defined, and that will be in the organization chart, because they will be responsible for all lab activities and results in front of the customer, in front of the assessors, in front of the organization or authority responsible for the lab. So they shall be defined in the organization chart, and that will be explained also in this lecture, inshallah. And lab shall define and document the range of activities that's conform to this document, conform to ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition, and can only claim conformity to this range of lab activities. And this point is a new added to this edition. So in this case, the lab activities or procedures that are conform to this document or validated or ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition certified, they shall be defined and documented in a specific list of lab activities conform to this document. But excluded from this, permanent externally provided activities and non-validated procedures shall be excluded from this list. So we need to know what does it mean subcontract. If the lab for some reason cannot conduct analysis for a specific analytes, as example, if there is any deficiency in the facilities required for this lab activity, in this case the lab shall contact another lab which has all facilities required to analyze these target analytes, and this lab shall be accredited or certified according to ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition in this lab activity. And we have two types of subcontract. We have permanent subcontract and temporary subcontract. If the lab cannot conduct this lab activity for a specific time, so it will be temporary subcontract. But if the lab will never be able to conduct this lab activity, so it will be permanent subcontract, and that shall be excluded from this list. So based on clause 5.3, you shall prepare a list of lab activities which are conform to this edition, to ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition, and inside this list you will add validated or certified methods according to ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition, and also you can add non-validated methods till to be validated, but it shall be defined. How you can define this? As example, you can write analysis of chloramphenicol in meat, and you can add star. So star will be defined only for methods which are not validated, but you shall exclude permanent subcontract lab activities. And this clause also is mandatory and related also to clause number 5.3. All lab activities performed inside the lab or sites away from the lab, such as mobile facility or customer facility or associated temporary, shall meet the requirement of this document and customer requirement also, and regulatory authority if you are under organization or any authority, and organization providing recognitions such as accreditation bodies. And to meet the requirement for all of them, for this document, customer requirement, regulatory authority, accreditation bodies, you shall be certified according to ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition in all of these lab activities. And this clause will be about the organization structure inside the lab. The lab shall define the organization and management structure inside the lab, its place in any parent organization, your lab under which unit or which parent organization. And also relationship shall be defined, relationships inside the lab between management, technical operation, technical manager, quality manager, lab analyst, and support services who support the facilities to the lab or customer also. That can be defined in the organization chart. In the organization chart, you will define your lab under which parent organization, and also you will define the hierarchy inside the lab and the relationship between the management, technical operation, and also support services. Also, the lab shall specify the responsibility and authority of all personnel inside the lab who manage, verify, or perform work affecting the results of lab activities. And that can be in the job description. Job description is a word, has been mentioned directly in 2005 edition, but in 2017 edition not mentioned directly, but the requirement to describe the jobs for all personnel inside the lab still there. You shall specify the responsibility and authority, so you can keep the job description form as you did in 2005 edition, and I prefer this, or you can find another way to describe the jobs for all personnel. And the last point in the organization structure, the lab shall document its procedures to ensure the integrity of results. As I said, you shall prepare a list of procedures or methods that are certified according to ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition, or validated methods, and you can include also in this list non-validated methods till to be validated, but you shall define that these methods are not validated. You can add a star or something else, but you shall exclude only permanent externally provided lab activities. Recommendation for this point, the lab shall prepare an organizational chart signed by the management and the lab parent authority and include position of the lab in the organization, position of the lab under which authority, under which parent organization or unit, organization structure within the lab, organization structure within the lab. Job description also can be attached for each person inside the lab, can be attached in the chart. Relationships between quality management, technical operation, and support services also shall be clarified, and also hierarchy inside the lab shall be clarified. So every person inside the lab will know his authority or his responsibility, and he will report for whom and who is responsible for him. Lab shall have a personnel who have the authority and responsibility to carry out the following points. First point, implementation, maintenance, and improvement of quality management system. Quality management system, which is the whole system, ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition. So he can implement the whole system for all lab activities, and he can keep the system maintaining all the time through internal audit. And also he can make improvement in the quality management system through internal audit. After internal audit, he will find non-conformities, and also he can find risk due to the lab activities. So they will make corrective actions for these non-conformities, and they will find a way to eliminate these risks. Through this, that will improve the quality management system. Identification of deviations from quality management system or procedures related to the lab activities. If there is any deviation in the quality management system or procedures related to the lab activities, he has the experience and the ability to identify this deviation. And if he found any deviation through the internal audit, he will raise non-conformity. And also he can ensure that lab activities are not deviated from the management system. Through the internal audit, he will check all documents for the lab, and if he found any deviation, he will raise non-conformity. And also he shall ensure that all lab activities are still conformed to this document and other international guidelines. So everything will be maintained in the whole management system, and there will be improvement in the quality management system. And also if there is any deviation in the lab activities that will not be conformed to this document, he has the ability to take actions to prevent this deviation. So he is able to take action to prevent such deviations in lab activities if this deviation are not confirmed to this document. Also reporting to the lab management on the performance of the management system and if there is any need for improvement, and also ensuring the effectiveness of the lab activities. All of these requirements were the job description for the quality manager, but quality manager as a word not mentioned in the new edition as it was in 2005 edition. It was mentioned quality manager. So in this case you can keep the name of quality manager, and I prefer this, and also you can change the name of quality manager to be quality lead or quality officer. So there is no problem for the name, but still the job description of quality manager is there. Another point also, which is a new point added to this edition, lab management shall ensure that communication takes place regarding the effectiveness of management system with the personnel concerned, like customer, and that's related to the customer satisfaction. That can happen by different ways. You can allow the customer also to go inside the lab and check his lab activity, check the instrument, and check quality control results for every day, and check the validation data to ensure that the lab provide him with a valid result, and to ensure that his lab activity is still conformed with ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition. And also the lab management can allow him to attend the management review every year to check the situation related to his lab activity, or if he cannot attend, they can send the final report after meeting to him. Lab management also shall maintain that the integrity of the management system is maintained when changes are planned and implemented. That will be through the quality officer or quality manager. He shall provide the lab manager by any deviation in the quality management system, and if there is any deviation or there is any change, how they plan for change and how they implement this. How to implement this inside the lab? First, you shall prepare an organization chart, including all personnel inside the lab. First, the lab under which parent organization, and after that, quality manager or quality lead or quality officer, technical manager, technical lead or technical officer, and facility officer, training officer, whoever in the lab management. And what are the communication between lab management and technical operations, and support services also should be included in that organization chart, and other personnel like senior analyst and lab analyst. And you can also add to this organization chart the job description for each person, but if you cannot, you can keep the old form for job description. Second point, you shall prepare a list of accredited methods, which include all methods which are certified according to ISO IEC 17025 2017 edition. And also you can add non-validated methods till to be validated, but you shall define these methods, but exclude from this permanent externally provided activities, permanent subcontract. Also minutes of meeting form for monthly meeting, and that will be for every unit inside the lab. Every unit inside the lab will meet one time per month to discuss whatever happened in the unit, inside the unit, for lab activities and lab results, and what they need for the next month. And management review, and that will be for management meeting one time per year to ensure that quality management system is still maintaining and improved during the year, And the result of this meeting should be sent to the customer, or the customer can attend this meeting to provide higher confidence to the customer. And last requirement, you can prepare a general procedure explaining the structure of the lab. I'll try to explain one procedure for you, and you can adapt this procedure to be suitable for your lab. Inside the procedure to explain the structure of the lab, first about the legal entity. Lab name, your lab, has its legal entity which enables the lab to do its activities with a high performance and confidence. First point. Second point, this lab under which authority name, which is legally responsible for its activities. Lab analyst in each unit will send the result to technical lead or technical manager through LIMS or manually. If the lab has LIMS, you can use LIMS. If you don't have LIMS, you can send manually to revise and approve. All results shall be clear and simple for the management to be able to take the decision rule for acceptance and rejection of the samples, and that will be in the certificate of analysis, the final report, and inside this you will add the final result plus minus the measurement uncertainty. After the lab manager will take the decision for acceptance and rejection of results, the lab manager will be responsible for all sent results to the authority name. Lab units will perform their test using the own permanent facilities, and the own permanent facilities you shall check the performance of these facilities shall be checked every run. And if you have temporary facility or customer facility or mobile facility, you shall mention that here. And to ensure the integrity of results inside the lab, the technical lead shall revise also quality control samples, quality control results every day, because quality control samples shall be run with every sequence to ensure the accuracy of results, and the technical lead shall revise these results to ensure the accuracy of results. So technical lead responsible to ensure that the analyst provide results within a high accuracy, and that will be through quality control results. Lab name has a good system to ensure the integrity of results, where technical lead reviewed all quality control results, and also if he revised quality control results before results of samples, that will eliminate also any risk due to impartiality. Technical lead also is responsible for maintaining the technical operations. That's related to the communication between lab management and technical operations. He is responsible for maintaining the technical operations such as equipments, instruments, test materials, calibration for instruments, troubleshooting if there is any troubleshooting and maintenance for the instruments, personal training and competency test, and review also analytical reports. And if there is any deviation in the procedures, he shall provide this or send this deviation to the quality lead to check if this deviation is conformed to this document or not. Quality lead is responsible to keep the effectiveness of quality management system and can stop any deviation if it's not conformed to this document, and also can report to the lab head directly. Job description for all personnel inside the lab shall be defined, and that will be after training and authorization of these persons. Monthly meeting for each unit, you shall have minutes of meeting, monthly meeting for each unit for every month. And lab name has an occupational health and safety unit. That was the end of our lecture for today. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture.